Copyright disclaimer. Under Title 17 U.S.C. Section 107, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. The Children of Scientology, dated November 14th, 1991. Some children involved in the Church of Scientology apparently have no one who cares about looking out for their welfare. They tell haunting stories of hardship, loneliness, and estrangement. In a 2-day series, Times reporter Curtis Kruger provided glimpses of the lives of parents and children involved in Scientology. While there were Scientologists who sent Kruger testimonials about ways the organization has improved their family life, there were other people who recalled an austere existence and a legacy of bitterness and pain. The stories told of Carlo, a 15-year-old boy, found weeping on a Clearwater Street corner last March. He told police he didn't go to school, but instead did maintenance work for the Church of Scientology. See, the Clearwater cops are in on it. From 8:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily. His mother was a church staff member, but Carlo lived away from her in a church-owned housing complex. More proof that Clearwater police know what's going on. There was Beth Ehrlich, who at 11 signed a billion-year contract pledging herself to the Church of Scientology. She attended a Scientology-affiliated school, but then worked about 50 hours a week, at 11 years old, 50 hours a week. Labor and Trade Commission, 11-year-old working 50-hour weeks, doing filing and other jobs. I think the filing is the cover story. And other jobs for the church, she said. She lived with others in a room at a former motel. Oh, wait a minute. Could that be Fort Harrison? Fort Harrison Hotel? Clearwater Police. Harrison? Fort Harrison? There was Mark, age 10. Police found him around midnight, wandering downtown Clearwater, where Scientology has its international spiritual headquarters. He told police. He worked 6 days a week, sometimes as late as 10:30 p.m., and was supposed to be paid the grand sum of $12 a week. There were other recollections by former Scientologists of poor food, that's neglect, inadequate schooling, more neglect, overcrowded living facilities, neglect, separations from parent, and painful divisions in families. The Church of Scientology contends those stories are lies. Deny, deny, deny. Mistakes are examples of problems that were discovered and corrected long ago. Yet there are indications that as recently as this past spring, children were working long hours for the organization. LAPD, aren't you happy that your overtime pay is paid by child labor? Isn't that wonderful? As this past spring, children were working long hours for the organization. It is not clear, said an official. Names with the State Department of Labor and Employment Security, whether there have been violations of child labor laws by the Church of Scientology. But to their credit, isn't that wonderful? Investigators are concerned and have begun an inquiry. You guess what happened, you guys, about it? Nothing. And this is from the Tampa Bay Times. So it does look like Tampa Bay Times was trying. Yet to be explored is whether the department has any authority to enforce labor laws. Really? Are you kidding me? In this case, since the Church of Scientology calls itself a religion, you even notice how they worded it? Calls itself a religion? Because that's exactly what's happening. The department's legal staff should hasten to reach a conclusion, really. And the legislator should clear up any ambiguities in state law. Oh, they should they? No organization, religious or otherwise, should be able to work young children for long hours. A caring society does whatever is necessary to protect its children from that sort of exploitation. Yes. Local public officials, local public school officials may be the only ones who can investigate whether Scientology children are attending school as required by the state. Florida's compulsory school attendance law was written decades ago, before private schools blossomed throughout the state. It gives responsibility for investigating possible violations to the country school superintendent, who can initiate court action against parents if their children are not regularly attending school somewhere. The Church of Scientology has been the focus of numerous court battles and news stories. Though some appalling practices have been revealed, Scientology has used threats and the cloak of religion to hide many of its activities from public scrutiny. But there should be no place to hide if Scientology and its adult followers are neglecting children, requiring them to work long hours, or denying them adequate schooling, rest, and recreation. State and local officials responsible for the welfare of children must find out